Hey, welcome back to the Sketch Magazine Crowdfunding Podcast. I'm here with Chris. Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing really well. How about you?
I'm doing good.
Cool.
We have been
Uh,
discussing and cussing crowdfunding
yeah,
and all the fun and exciting things that go along with it.
yeah, the
Uh,
emotional roller coaster that is crowdfunding.
yes, yes. Chris launched his yesterday.
Where is it? Okay, right there. Danger
Yes,
Tours.
there it is.
Yes,
Danger
Danger
Tours.
Tours. Yes.
And it got a nice launch.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
So we're working on getting the word out,
Hmm.
spreading the news about it, and we'll see where it goes.
Right.
I been working on the Hellgirl Kickstarter, and we're
Hmm.
laughing because I recorded the damn video like 100 times, and I still couldn't get one artist's name right.
That's
So I
right.
just I
Yeah.
just had to fudge it over, and Chris will just have to apologize to me to him
Yeah.
because it's
I
his
will.
artist. So.
I will.
But it's all what we do to try to keep these entertaining. Because as much as the crowdfunders is about putting a comic book out, it's about entertaining, and that goes
Hmm.
from the video that we create
Yep.
to the social media and events that we do during the Kickstarter to then actually putting the product out. And Chris just dropped something.
No,
Uh,
I didn't.
oh,
I
something
did
happened.
right next to the mic, and I was like, "Oh, did he
He's
notice?" Yeah,
he's
he
one of
did.
those kids in the back of class.
I always
I
gotta
didn't
have
do it.
some. I
No.
gotta fiddle with something.
But danger doors.
They did it.
Yes,
I didn't
they
do
did
it.
it. Yes. So one thing I don't know if Chris has this or not, but one thing I do, and this is sort of off subject what we were originally, is I had drawn up. I have a day by day Google Doc, which Chris knows I love Google Docs.
Google Docs. Yes.
30 dates and 30 things, and it's like each category: social media on these days, newsletters on these days. I'm going to do original art draws or giveaways or something on these. So I'm actually planning on every day, so I don't have to think about it. Basically, it may or may not get done, but it is a goal that I don't have to come in first thing in the morning and go, "What's got to be done for the crowdfunder? What do I got to do?" Because it's only a small part of our daily lives. We've got the quote unquote real jobs
Hmm.
or the real businesses with the video game store with me. And I've got the employees, and we're running a YouTube studio here, and we have so many things going on that I don't want to miss something where I got to stay, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. I've done that many times.
Yeah.
But so I create this doc. I did it for Paradox Wars. It worked out real well. This one's going to be packed with even more information. This time I'm going to try to do more giveaways. I'm going to try to do some live draws. May or may not work out. If they work
Okay.
out, you'll see them. If they don't work out, you won't see them.
Exactly.
It's going to be
Yeah.
that easy.
Yeah.
I have a couple more of these 1080 cameras. The
Hmm.
cool thing about owning a video game store is everybody thinks they are game streamers. And when it
Yeah.
doesn't work out for them, I have bought 5 or 6 really nice Yeti mics. I have bought
Hmm.
5 or 6 really nice streaming cameras.
Yeah. People bringing them in,
And
and
they
yeah,
bring them in, they sell them with their games, and I go, "Oh, that goes to the studio."
that's right.
Yes. And now they have a box that they go, "Whoop, that goes to Bob's studio."
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm going to actually set up something over an art table. I've got an idea. It's a real simple style I really like. I'm going to play around with this weekend doing like, maybe 30 or 40 thumbnail sketches.
Hmm.
And if I pick out the best of those, and then I have some 4x7 cards that has like Hellgirl logo, and I'll
Right.
show those in a future video. But so yeah, I got a lot of different things going on. But even with all that stuff going on, the entertainment part, the delivery part, we got to communicate with people.
Right.
And that is the hardest thing to get out there. It's hard to build that list of people.
Yeah. It is. You can see it was palpable. I was like,
Yes,
it
I
is.
know. Even we can tell Chris is in the middle of launching this thing.
But like a day.
Yes, he's only been out for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Little over 24 hours.
Yeah.
But But it is one of the hardest part. I mean, social media has really limited unless you're going to throw bucks at it.
Right.
You know, I think I got one of those emails today, like Google Ads, like here's $500 if you spend blah. You know,
Yeah.
I may take that up. I don't know if I'm going to spend $500, but I might take up part of it for our
Right.
launch. You know, but you know, Facebook very quickly decided that they were going to monetize years ago, and that's what changed everything there. So it's really hard to reach a broad amount of people.
It
Um,
is. Yeah.
but you've got to build an email list, and when you do Kickstarters, you sort of do build an email list. You have those who previously supported you over here on past Kickstarters.
Right. If it was
But
successful, you can still update,
yes,
send
yes,
updates, which is, yeah.
like an email.
So I had 128 backers
Mm-hmm.
for Tales of the Dark Tunnel back in 2020. Actually, 2 years ago this
Right.
month, I did it for some
Oh,
reason.
okay.
So my first thought was, why am I doing an all ages, everybody fun comic book in Halloween? But then I also realized I did a superhero book during Halloween. So,
Right.
but I still have access. I can send an update to that campaign to all those backers.
Right.
But what I also did was when I sent out the survey, I asked if I could add in the survey, can I add your email to my emailing list?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had like 50 or 60 people say, sure. So
Right.
I doubled my list, the one I already created.
Mm-hmm.
So that was helpful.
Yes.
But I still send out to that. So that way I still
Right.
have access to the other 100 or whatever that 80 math is mystery to me. That did not say that, but
Right.
you also don't want to abuse that. That's the thing I always worry about on me.
Yeah.
I don't want to send stuff out 2 or 3 times a day.
No, I would think something like an email list on Kickstarter is once or twice a week.
Right. That's actually what I do, like every third day, something like that.
Right. Yeah. I think that would really work out well. So I personally, I've told this story many times over the past couple of weeks, but I personally ran into the same thing when I launched my novel, Camelot Forever,
Right.
2 years ago. No, it was last fall. Last fall we launched it. And nobody knew us as authors. They only knew us as the comic book guys, the Blue Line and Sketch Magazine guys, from doing 30 years of conventions and running around and everything.
Right.
So to launch our book and to make it as successful as we could on launch, I took a class on how to build a successful launch. And the big thing that they really pushed was these pre-built email lists.
Right.
Which I always consider spam lists, but it's not true. These email lists, people have allowed their emails to be put on there or kept on them, and they're willing to receive emails whether they look at them or not, and without any problems. So I actually bought, I think there was 4 lists or 5 lists, everything from library lists to, I think one list had up to 90,000 emails or something crazy, and that was the most expensive list to buy an ad on.
Right.
But I think I bought up to 4 different lists on launch, and we were able to launch Camelot Forever as the #1 bestseller on Amazon on day 1.
Now, when you say bought, you mean you bought an ad on the
I
list.
bought an
You
ad
didn't buy
spot.
the actual list of names.
No,
I think that's
no.
important. Yeah.
Yes, we actually bought an ad spot, which the ad spot showed the cover,
Right.
and it showed a 40, 50 word description, title, and it also had a link to the actual listing on the book.
Right.
And all these ads came out within 24 hours and 48 hours of the launch of the book.
Right. Now that was Amazon, right?
That was Amazon. Yeah, we
Right.
used Amazon as our main publisher for that. And yeah, so that showed me that type of list works.
Right.
Building a list like that can get your book in front of the people. And I'm actually I've got a new cover for the book.
Right.
We're going to recover it and do a relaunch here in probably first in November I'm not too sure I'm going to do the whole ad thing, but I just wanted to update the cover to something that more matches the genres of Amazon
Hmm.
and where the book is sort of settled in. And so we had a cover created, and I might jump on that larger list and rebuy it just to see if that new cover attracts more readers,
Right.
if it brings in more people to take a shot at it. So, but what we've done is with Chris and I talking about getting back into comics, or Chris has been here, and crowdfunding and bringing out our projects that we really care about. Um, it sort of dinged on me like, wait a minute, I have a list. You
Hmm.
know, Blue Line and Sketch Magazine has been building a list for 30 years,
Right.
or as long as there's been emails anyway.
Yeah.
And so that list has changed and modified and been cleaned and purged and everything. And it's a solid 10,000 email list.
Hmm.
So this week we also launched comic book crowdfunding news. And we had a couple advertisers jumped on with us, which we appreciate it.
Very cool.
And we look forward to to continue out. And what we built this was for the people who don't have the time to build a list, or I know Mailchimp has a free part. I know you use the free part of Mailchimp,
Yeah,
correct?
right. Up to 1,000
Yeah.
subscribers. Right.
I haven't used the free part of Mailchimp in a long, long
No.
time. So
Yeah.
our monthly fee for emails is hundreds of dollars. Is that we
Right.
spend? I think it's in over $300 a month I spend in Mailchimp email deliveries alone. So
Hmm.
there's an expense to this. People said, "Why do you sell ads?" There's an expense to this.
Right.
If you're sending out every day 10,000 plus emails, that's somewhere about 300,000 emails in a month that you're sending out.
Hmm.
So there's a fee for that, and there's a cost to it, and you got to design it. So designers got to come in and design the newsletter, and so yeah, there's money involved. But right now we're doing something where we're doing a times two. So if you're getting this month of October on this, October 2022, we are offering, you buy 2 ads, you get 2 free. You buy 3 ads, you get 3 free. You buy 4 ads, you get 4 free. As long as the calendar stays open enough,
Hmm.
I'll run that the whole month. And this gives people an affordable shot. At that point, it's cost you maybe $10 an ad. And I can tell you, on that book list, I never got an ad as cheap as $10. Not even nearly as cheap as $10.
I suppose.
So yeah. So we believe we've asked the list. We asked people on the list if they would accept these emails. Yes, out of the big list, a few people bailed. Most of them was like, yeah, sure. And we're pretty much getting about a 20% open rate.
That's
So
pretty good.
20,000, that's 2,000 people are opening. It's probably not the same people every day, so you're rooting around different people opening each day.
Hmm.
So I feel like it's pretty successful. I think it's doing pretty good.
Yeah, those are good
Um,
numbers.
yeah. So we'll see.
Right.
I'll put a link below for everybody.
Yes.
Below will be a link to Chris's Danger Tours Kickstarter,
Yes.
Hellgirl notification link, and a link to either if you want to receive comic book crowdfunding news, there'll be a link for you to sign up at. And if you're a creator or publisher and you want to advertise on it, there will be a link also for that downstairs below.
Right.
Um, Now, how do we update this list? How do we? Okay, some of the negative naysayers out there are
Oh,
saying,
yeah,
"Look,
you're gonna have some. Yeah,
yeah,
some questions.
yeah," they're gonna say it's just the same people every single day. Yeah, repetitiveness is good, but
Hmm.
actually, it's not. What I decided to do was I had sketchmagazine.net sitting here with
Hmm.
hundreds of interviews, blogs, podcasts, how-tos, just everything we've ever created over the past 5 years or so since we've been playing around with that site. And I decided to make a membership that if you agree to receive this newsletter, you get it for free. The membership's free. You get access
Yeah.
to all
Right.
this for free. All you have to do is agree to receive this daily email. In the past 2 weeks, we've added 150 brand new email addresses.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the more we advertise that, the more email addresses come in, the larger the list will get. The list will turn, but it will get stronger and stronger.
Right.
So I think what we're trying to do is build a community, reach out, And we know crowdfunding is the way to publish right now. It's the way to
Right.
build your following. I'm just hoping that we're able to use, comic book crowdfunding news and Sketch magazine to help everybody build their own, groups. Everybody has their own look. Danger Tours is different than Hellgirl.
Mm-hmm.
Hellgirl is different than Paradox Wars that I did, which is different than Freaks and Gods.
Right.
So it's like we have like 4 or 5 different looking projects and fan bases probably for those projects right there.
Right.
So what I'm hoping to do is with this list is to help people build their own fan base. Always try to capture email addresses, even the people coming in from us.
Right.
Try it. And there's ways out there. I'm right now reading 2 different books and taking an online course on ClickFunnels. And there's ways, what they do is you massively advertise and you bring everybody down to a list is what you're doing. You're building a list. Whether they buy or they don't buy, there's a list. And so I'm reading this and learning it to make our list better and to make our stuff more attractive.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Right. But if you get an ad and you get a handful of people who buy from your Kickstarter,
Yes.
If you ask them in the survey, you now could potentially add those to your own list.
Yes.
So they'll get a targeted email from you rather than, so it's a good way to kind of, and the idea that, there's up to 10,000 emails.
Yes.
That it's the same people. Yeah, it is. It's up to 10,000 people.
Right.
And if 20% open up at any given time.
Yes. And this is 10,000, not just 10,000 emails. These are comic creators, readers, supporters, and publishers.
That's
this
right.
list came from Blue Line, Sketch Magazine, and my own publishing over the years. So this is not Joe Blow who watches the NFL football and don't give a damn about comics or blah blah blah.
Right.
These are comic book people. This list is gold. If you talk to people out there who do email lists and stuff, they think this list is gold. They call it.
Right.
It says you got gold there, and I said, well, I hope it's gold for everybody who wants to jump on here and use it to their benefit. Now, I can't guarantee I'm going to sell you a whole lot of books.
Right.
I can guarantee you right now, I can't guarantee. I can try to get you at least in front of 20% of the people on a daily basis that you buy ads.
Right.
And then it's really up to you, your description, your title, and your cover.
Mm-hmm.
Covers are still so important in this market.
Yeah, it always is. It always will be.
Well, your cover for Danger Tours is perfect. It tells what's in the story.
Right, yeah. That's great. Yeah, you did a great job.
I'm going to throw it in the middle here. I'm going to right here.
Right over.
It's going to be right here.
Right there.
But he did a great job. Chris, Big G.
Giuseppe D'Elia.
He did a great job on the cover. You directed him, and I think it's wonderful looking. So, and it tells what's in the story, which is important. Mm-hmm. The Hellgirl cover, it has its own message.
Very different message. We're on completely different sides of the comic book industry.
Totally different message. Yes. You might be able to guess what that message is.
Right.
There's another book out there that's doing very well with that type of message.
Right.
And I thought, what the heck? The story's finished. We need some beautiful covers. Joel did a great job on the pencils on the covers. You did a knocked out job on the inks of it.
Thank you.
B Studios colored it, and it's like, wow. So the covers will draw in the audience, so they're important. They're important for you to use, of course, in the Kickstarter and the imagery. They're important in stuff like the newsletters. One thing I want to talk about is like your newsletters. What are you doing different from your newsletters, your posts, than what's going out on Comic Book Crowdfunder? Are you doing different images? Are you doing like penciled covers? Are you doing different things so that it's the same sort of information, go buy my book, but they're getting something different for the view?
Are you asking me or them watching?
You.
I try to mix it all up. Okay. Like today I posted a preview page.
Okay.
There's a point in this first issue where what's really going on is revealed, and it's rather hilarious. And I just don't want to ruin it.
Right.
But I'm trying to dance around all of that and not, if I was trying to pitch this book to a publisher, that's the first thing I'd tell them.
Right.
But for the reader, but I did a preview page yesterday when the book launched. I did a lot of covers.
Okay.
The artist, because Giuseppe penciled and inked it, I colored it, lettered it, and all that. He posted black and white and the color version, right?
Yeah.
He did that today. So I shared that. That was great. So I kind of slowly start breaking it down. Like you said, you have a Google Doc. I'm like, well, it's 9:30. I usually post around 10. But what I do is while I'm grabbing an image and thinking about what I'm going to do for today, I'll actually be like, oh, you know what? I can also do that for tomorrow. And then I actually end up start making other graphics 5, 6, 7 at a time.
Okay.
To try to get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I will go and I will schedule a bunch ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's panels, it's the cover, it's the black and white. I do have the sketch one, which I'm going to probably get to in a few days, or because this one's for 30 days. The last ones that were Freaks and Gods were run by Invader Comics. They did 15.
Right.
I'm going to be on that roller coaster for 30 days.
Yes.
But that's what I try to do. I isolate characters. I've got a couple where JP, who is the dog looking guy right there, he's kind of I don't want to say slimy, but he's a nice guy, but he's just always trying to cut corners and make an extra.
Reminds me of a used car salesman, buddy.
Kinda, yeah.
I don't know any used car salesmen out there, but
that's kind of him. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I've isolated him a few times. I got Alex, the big cone-headed guy, doing his typical hand over his face, like, "Dear God, how did I get into this?"
Right.
That happens like at least twice an issue.
Right.
So I isolate and I create, and I'll put Kickstarter or the banner. So I just kind of roll with it. And I know you had talked about Facebook and their monetize. I do boost posts once in a while because I know that back in the day you didn't have to because everybody saw your posts. Well, guess what? They don't.
No.
So unfortunately, this is kind of how you have to do it.
Yes.
You can hit all the different groups and stuff, which works great. Sometimes if you're not as active, you might see a lot of low numbers for views, but you just got to keep doing it. You can spend like $1 a day and do it for 20 days. I have had moderate to good luck with that.
Okay.
So that's always a way to do it too.
Well, I know here recently I spent $50 on Facebook. I'm trying to think of what it was. I don't remember. It was something. I don't know if it was with the store or with comics. But I was amazed that in the $50, we only got like 10,000, I guess, repost or views or whatever it's called.
I think it's called reaches.
Reaches. I got 10,000 reaches. And I got thinking, in my own email list, for $10, I could have got 10,000 reaches.
Yeah, you could have.
Because that doesn't guarantee they clicked it. That was nothing like that.
That's just people who saw it.
Yes.
They saw it as they scrolled by looking for another cat video.
Oh my gosh! Don't go there. Don't go there. Not the cat videos.
Yeah.
But no, and I don't have nothing against cats. Well, I do have something against cats, but that's all right.
Next.
If you saw the scar above my oldest son's eye, you'd understand why.
Oh, okay.
All right, but yeah, it's you've got to do it all,
right?
But I'm hoping that email. Everybody who talks about marketing, they always come back to building your own core, building your own email, and I'm really thinking that crowdfunding news could really, hopefully, step in there and help out a lot of creators be seen. And I'm interested, like you said, you're doing 30 days. I know we got Danger Tour ads running in the middle of that.
Right.
So usually, Kickstarters start out strong, start off well, they dip down, and then at the end they pick back up. I'm just wondering if we can keep it more even. Can
Right.
we keep it
Yeah.
in front of enough people, enough new people, keeping it going that you're constantly being seen and you're constantly even throughout the whole thing. If that happens, then it's a huge increase.
Yeah, that would be. Right.
Because I've literally had Kickstarters that have died for 7-10 days in the middle of
Right.
the Kickstarter. People are waiting to see, for whatever reason, they're just waiting to see.
Right. Yeah. What are they waiting to see?
I don't know. I don't know. I know, and we'll talk about Hellgirl as we get to on. But I know I'm going to do giveaways and
Mm-hmm.
cover drops and just all kinds of stuff once we reach our stretch goal.
Right.
So.
I've got stretch goals starting at $1 over.
Yes, I
It's
love
a great
that.
idea. I took that from you for my first
Yes.
Kickstarter, and people were like, "What? Yeah. Here's a print."
Yes. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but what it does, it gives them a reason to help you to get to that goal.
Right. Exactly.
They're not going to sit around and wait to see if you're successful, and then now we're here. I'm getting free stuff. I'm going to go help promote. They're like $1 over. Sure, I'm going to help them reach that $500,000, $1,500 margin, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So they're out there helping you promote. I'm seeing somebody who I don't know if you know him, repost your post out there.
Yeah. There's one guy who there's a couple of people actually who seem to follow my work, and I'm really, really appreciative for that.
Well, it was sort of funny because I seen it on you
awesome.
and I liked it, and then I jumped back on an hour later. I saw the same post. I'm like, did Chris repost this? Because my like wasn't there.
Yeah.
I looked up and it's somebody else's name.
Someone
I was like,
else,
oh damn, that's
Yeah.
great.
Sometimes you just literally have to say, "Hey, could you please share this?" And people will be like, "Oh, yeah, that's right. I like this. I'll share it."
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to actually ask them.
You do.
Typically,
Just like
people,
with you. Yeah, well, it's just like YouTube. One of the big names in YouTube goes, yeah, this channel sort of sit there for months until my people told me to start saying subscribe and hit the bell.
Yeah.
He goes, it's amazing.
Yeah.
When you ask him, he says, then it went bananas.
Yeah.
People just wasn't thinking it was there. They clicked on it. They watched it. They knew YouTube would push it back to them without subscribing. They just didn't. They did not subscribe for a reason, or But once you start asking for it, boom, it goes out. So definitely, there's something to that.
Yeah. Just I said, and please, I said, hey, please share and help spread the word. He listened and he did.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. Yes, that's great.
Yeah. That's very cool.
So, to wrap this 15-minute podcast up that is heading towards 30 minutes.
We're terrible.
This is what happens when you get Bob and Chris on a call, on a video.
Yeah.
But I can't say more than your own personal list is very important. Look at different ways to build it. If it's using us over at comic book crowdfunding news, use it.
Right.
If you can afford it.
It's a good place to start. If you don't, you don't have a list of your own.
Yes. I do think crowdfunding is a future, and I want to continue to do videos just talking about different aspects of crowdfunding. I created like 5 basic steps. If you go to our channel on YouTube, Sketch channel, there's and these are shorter videos.
Because I wasn't
just
there.
breaking down the basics of the steps. Yeah, Chris wasn't invited.
I wasn't
He's
there.
out of there. Damn it.
So it was done really fast. Yeah.
Yes. I just went over the very basics. They're I always look at them. They're like, oh damn, these are a little dry, but they get the basic points across.
Right.
And that's what I want. I think we could take each of those and we could spend a half hour or an hour really trying to give them more information on and stuff that we're trying to do, stuff that we see other people doing successfully. And, you got to mentor this stuff. You got to go look at what other people are doing and try to build it. It's more than just wanting to do a comic. It's more than just, just doing it. You've got to do all the aspects, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah.
You got to do the marketing. You got to do the outreach. You've got to do everything.
I know.
Yes.
It's difficult. It's difficult for the creative types. For me, at least, it's not an easy thing for me to do.
Marketing is one of the hardest things to do. Even us, I've got a successful video game store where we're building YouTubes. But marketing that, we could do so much better. You know, so actually that's something we're working on in-house, is building a few people in here to do nothing but marketing. Advertising, marketing, promote. This is what their daily job would be. And there's so many aspects to it. So
Yeah.
come on back. If you have anything, questions, questions, please post below. We will try to check on those. I will check on those and see if it does. If you need a really cool book, please check out Chris's Danger Tours Kickstarter.
Yes. I don't like to use the word all ages because it's not only for kids.
No. You know what? The guys at the video game store says E. I'm like, what? He goes,
yeah.
You know,
E.
in games they put E? I'm
Everybody.
like, yeah. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, why? He goes, that's for everybody.
Everybody. Yes.
Oh, so we're E.
I've been trying to say that. Everybody, everyone.
And that's what brought the conversation. I said, Chris won't call it all ages. He calls it everybody. And they're like, yeah, Bob. E.
Yeah.
Like on the games. I'm going,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everybody.
Yeah. So, and I think everybody wants it's a great book. It's a great book.
it's pretty fun. It's
is.
a departure
It
from
is.
some of the other stuff I've done in the past.
And he's got some cool stretch goals lined up. It's going to be
I got
a great
I
project.
got cards coming, and
Yes.
I got a print of a gigantic dog licking somebody, attacking them. It's a complete insanity over there. You got to go check it out.
Great. It is great. And yeah, just check out all the links below for crowdfunding, for Sketch Magazine. There's tons of stuff there. Please, if you can, subscribe, hit the bell, let people know. I like to get this channel built up to the more it's built up, the more it's pushed out there, and more people knows about us.
Right, exactly. And then it could also increase the mailing list, which could also help you if you've got a Kickstarter planned for the future.
Yes, and that's what we built it for.
That's what it's all about.
We can. Yes, it is.
Right.
So, all right. Well, this wraps up our short little podcast.
Right. You can watch it in short increments, like watch it in like 3 10-minute increments.
Sure.
That'd be fine. Yeah.
I think most people probably just play us off the side anyway, you know.
Wake up a half hour later.
Yeah. See ya. Take care,
right.
buddy.
Bye.
Bye.